Hi, Dr. Greg Gillum, CEO of Human Fusion. Do you remember when the Bradys had to change the lyrics of their song to accommodate Peter's development into puberty? Change. If you don't remember that, that's probably a very good thing, and we'll leave it at that. Today's article review comes from the August 27th issue 2019 Harvard Business Review, called 4 Tips for Managing Organizational Change by Greg Satell. Now, I read so much of the literature that I am rarely surprised by anything. I'll get good ideas and it'll spin off ideas, but to have anything really new is actually pretty rare. And that's okay. What I love actually is when new research or new articles validate what we already know. And so it's wonderful when the article that's coming out today that we're reviewing now actually validates what we already know about change. And if you haven't gone back and listened to Leading Change, I did a book review on that a few videos ago. You can search for that and hopefully you'll get a lot out of that. But that is the seminal book on change, and this simply validates that, this article. Number one, we know that according to McKinsey, only 26% of change initiatives actually succeed. So 3 out of 4 fail. Now, what can we do to make sure we don't fail? Well, this article talks about starting with a small group. All right, so this is reminiscent of step 2 of Leading Change, where we're creating a guiding team or guiding coalition, as Cotter said, but creating that guiding team. People who are already very enthusiastic about the change or the initiative, and they're willing to test assumptions and they're willing to recruit their peers. That's the guiding team that you need, because unless people feel like they own the effort, then it's probably not going to go very far. And a small team is important too, because if you remember Margaret Mead's great quote that, don't underestimate the power of a few people to change the world. Indeed, that's the only way it's ever been changed. Something like that. It's a powerful concept. All right, number 2, identify keystone change, which means that what wise managers are going to do is they're going to take the impetus for change, think step 1, sense of urgency. They're going to think about that, and then they're going to orchestrate a very small win, the keystone change that they can, that's very clear, it's very tangible, it's very easy to hit. Think step 6 now, small wins, orchestrating small wins. And then once they hit that, then that actually fuels the fire. That gives them a lot of momentum that they can continue the change effort with. So again, this very closely aligns with Leading Change. The third tip here is to network the movement. He talks about how we associate the U.S. civil rights movement with Martin Luther King Jr. We associate Indian independence to Gandhi. We associate the turnaround at IBM with Lou Gerstner. We associate the turnaround at Alcoa with Paul O'Neill. And what he says here is that they get all the credit, but without a lot of networked people involved, the change would have never happened. And so to really get good at networking your vision of change throughout the organization. He makes a quote here by General Stanley McChrystal, who wrote a book called Leaders, Myth, and Reality, that says this: effective leadership is a complex system of relationships between leaders and followers in a particular context that provides meaning to its members. And this is how great leaders orchestrate change. They network this vision of change throughout the organization. This is really representative of step 7, where we're consolidating gains and creating momentum of ever widening and ever deepening connections that woo people into this ecosystem of stakeholders that believe in what we're doing. And finally, surviving the victory. This is 8, anchoring the change into the culture. It's the most dangerous part of any transformation effort, because you've already hit your initial goals, and there's a good chance that you might just give up at this point. But don't. Make sure that you anchor and continue to evaluate the process of change itself. So, great article, validates everything we know about change. And if you like management-related videos like this, please subscribe to Human Fusion. We'll keep you up to date on all the latest trends that are affecting management practice.